All right, everybody. Another Sunday night with Ellie and I and Scotty Mack, of course. So first off, thank you for joining us. This is episode number 31 of Beyond the Court. Ellie, what's up, buddy?
Hi, buddy. Doing great. Great day. How about you?
Good, really good. It's been perfect weather out, been getting a lot of good workouts in, preparing for some various events that we may discuss here shortly. Tonight's going to be a little different. We're going to have an open discussion. We're going to talk about different stuff, things that are going on in the sport, things that are going on outside that have gone on. And we want you, everybody watching, we know we have a lot of regulars, live regulars. We appreciate that. We have a great group that, engages Ellie. And we want them to ask questions. And here's the deal. Scotty Mack is willing to bring you in live to ask your question. So if you want to come in live tonight, jump on screen with us. Scotty Mack's the guy to do it. Put it in the chat. Tell him you have a question. You can directly message him or my athlete page. You can message because he has access to that. Or just put it in the chat. And if Scotty sees it, we'll make it happen, Ellie, and we can have some fans join us. And of course, then later in the show, we're going to have two very special surprise guests.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to this first part because we've been talking about doing this a little bit, and trying to get right in touch with our followers here on this show, the live followers. We appreciate them a lot. I know a bunch of them, a bunch of them, and so we'll see who's got some questions. I know Rick Ricchetti in one of the posts was lobbing questions galore out, long ones, a lot of reading. So, we'll see. I'm sure he's going to be watching. So look forward to this first part. And of course, it's always fun to kind of play the mind game of who might be coming on later. And so we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah, Ellie and I really appreciate it. We appreciate everybody watching. We see everybody signing on now. Holly Scott, always Jordan Walters. What's up? Wayne Storch in the house. We love it. Juan Espinosa. Share the feed, get it out. Let's keep the good vibes going. There's a lot of things happening in racquetball, and we're going to get to that. Ellie, we're going to get right to it. So, all right. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit. But first, I want to say to everybody in Texas, friends and family, Scotty Mack. We know you've had a hell of a week. It's been brutal. You didn't have power. I spoke to Kane a few days ago, and I quote, "I don't have water and heat." So, our prayers, our thoughts, everyone out in Texas. We know you guys are strong. You ladies are strong. You're going to be okay. And, just wishing everybody the best in Texas. So, Texas racquetball, we'll see you soon for sure. And I know it's getting warmer. So, Ellie, here, we're going to go right to the first topic of the night. And, you got a Modelo. Cheers, bud.
Cheers, buddy. My daughter, Jordan,
cup of tea.
Just brought me a little beer. Feels like it's the right thing to do tonight.
Well, thank you, Jordan. Maybe I don't know. Veronica's watching. Maybe she could bring a beer. Jules is too young. Jules is going to be 3 in 2 months. But all right, first up on our list of topics. Give us an update, Ellie, on Dane Elkins, our missing racquetball player from Northern California, junior team USA member, 20 years old, has been missing now for almost 2 months. Why don't you tell us what's going on?
Yeah, I think he's actually 21 now, but it's a sad story for sure for all of us. We're constantly thinking about it every day here in California, and I'm sure across the country, and racquetball players, friends of his around the world. He competed in some junior worlds, so he knows a lot of the players from Mexico and all the other countries. It's been 2 months now, and I followed the searching for Dane Elkins on the Facebook page, and there's a little bit of hopes of a possible sighting or two in Bakersfield, California, which was always in play here. California's a long state, and supposedly Dane was driving up and down the state prior to his disappearance, his leaving his car in the Grapevine, and with his wallet and cell phone and computer in there. So going back a little bit, the search dogs, when they first initiated this search, picked up his scent for about 100 yards, and then it was out. So that's interesting right there. That fact, that sounds like maybe he was picked up or something happened there where he's now gone from that area completely because they just lost the scent right away. But hopefully this possible sighting in Bakersfield turns out to be something. I've had a lot of texts with people who care, not quite right in the inner circle or anything like that with his parents, and with the inner circle who's literally searching for him in LA and Bakersfield in the Santa Cruz area. But, I hope it's just something that does, ends up with a story to be heard about how he was found, what was going on and helping him, and hearing about how he's getting some help from that point on. We don't want to think about the worst possible scenario, and we won't even mention it because it's, we all
No,
know
we
what that could
don't.
be. So
Yeah, Ellie, we don't. And to be, everybody knows I try to be super positive and optimistic. Is there any talk of, he is a 21-year-old guy. He's a big dude. I've met him. He was great. He was super respectful and everything. Is there any talk of maybe like he chose to get
sure.
away?
Sure, but it's really hard to engage in that type of stuff. Maybe you're looking to read some as somebody following this story and wondering what's going on. But maybe he did want to just get away for a while. And from all accounts, him and his mom did some work with homeless, feeding homeless people, and he had lobbed some jokes out that his mom thought were jokes about being able to live that lifestyle someday. And you never know what's going on. Mental health could be majorly a
Sure.
factor as well in this. And he is a grown man of 21 years old. So yeah, I mean, maybe he decided to just take a break and get off the grid for a while. And there's been a couple stories here and there, a couple of individuals that play racquetball involved in the stories and in that Santa Cruz area. And maybe this isn't the time to get deep into it, but we're thinking about Dane. Where
For
I'm
sure.
constantly following it. I know you are, and we just want the best case scenario, and he shows up and gets back to being a racquetball player, being healthy, and living his life.
Yeah, 100%. Dane, if you're watching, if you see this, if anybody that, is involved and knows how to get Dane back home to his family, hey, Ellie, Scotty Mac, and obviously the whole racquetball world just hopes you get back home safe, you return well, and come hang out with Ellie and I on the show, and we can talk about some things that just make you happy and smile. All right, so don't forget now, everybody, all the fans, everybody watching, we see you. We want you to get engaged. We're going to go to the first topic. If you have any questions at all, anything about racquetball associations, about whatever you want, put it in the chat, or better yet, send a private message, and Scotty Mac will, check it out and maybe bring you in. All you need is to have access and know how to get onto Zoom. As soon as you get onto Zoom, boom, you're on the screen with Ellie and I. Anybody, any question, we would love to have you. Ellie, did you want to say something before I bring up our first topic?
You probably you don't even hear it anymore, but you're probably gonna have to speak to what that dog situation is there at your
Yeah.
house, because it's driving me crazy right now.
Yeah, and it's a pain in the ass. I mean, we live, obviously you can see we live high up. And there's a lot of dogs here, and we love dogs, nothing against dogs, but I think they're just into our show. I mean, they
Yeah.
see the light pop on, they hear us talking, and they're like, we want to be on Beyond the Court too. And I'm not even kidding. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, because it literally happens just as we get going hot. And I know you can attest to that, because they don't bark until we actually start the show and we're live. So it's thanks guys. Appreciate it.
You're absolutely right. They want to be on the show. They've made it on the show now. We've talked about them.
Should throw a couple balls to them.
Yeah, maybe a little fetch.
All right, here we go. So first topic is, let's talk about what I woke up at 3:30 in the morning to watch. I don't know why. Novak Djokovic wins again. He's got 18 Grand Slam titles. He's, I think, 42-0 at Australia when he's the #1 seed. Is he the greatest of all time?
Well, he's certainly in the running for it, right? I mean, he's one of the top three. Sampras is like far removed now from that group. I mean, he couldn't win on clay, so he's not even a factor anymore, with only 14 Grand Slam wins to 18 being the next best, and then I believe 2021 with Nadal and Federer. So I think with the age factor coming in and the way Nadal plays, you got to assume Nadal's going to keep doing it, keep grinding on the clay. But after that, everything else is going to get a little tougher, like it is for Federer now. So Djokovic doesn't seem to be slowing down. The age factors in, and I kind of went off, I guess, with this win last night. I watched it start at 12:30 here, so I was falling asleep with it, but kind of watched it because I think Medvedev's a interesting player, great talent for his size. He moves well, but after that win last night, and convincing like it was, you got to say he's the front runner to go down as the greatest of all time. Might not be the prettiest player of all time. That might still go to Federer. I kind of like Nadal.
Well, he's sometimes the thing with Djokovic is, he's absolutely a freak. We know that he's phenomenal. But sometimes, let's face it, he's a dick. Like I'm watching the way he treats ball boys and girls sometimes, and he's like telling them like, hurry up, give me the ball. And I actually tweeted something. If you don't follow my Twitter, it's @SudsEM. And I'm like, hey, just be cooler than that. You could be better than that. And but his skills are off the charts, and he has 18. Rafa and Raja have 20. So will he get 2 or 3 more? You got to think without injuries. He's definitely en route. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think Medvedev has the ability to be one of the best players.
Two finalists in a
Also.
row for him, right? I mean,
Mhm.
finalists at the U.S. Open, so he's going to crack through at some point. I really enjoy watching Tsitsipas. I like saying it too. He kind of, in a weird way, his facial expressions and everything. If Jason Menino had long hair back in the day, and a little bit of, Jason had that goatee, they kind of look alike to me, and they kind of act alike, and they try like each other. They try their ass off and just
Jason's
grind.
arms. Jason's arms are much bigger though. I don't like that he wears that sleeveless and it's pretty tiny.
Yeah, Jason's a little thicker, a little naturally thicker, a little stumpier than him, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sitsipas's a little taller than Jay, but they remind me of each other, did from the beginning. So, men's and women's tennis right now is at a great spot in terms of high level play and watchable matches and all that. So, it's great. It's good for them.
We didn't. I mean, Osaka with her fourth Grand Slam, pretty crazy. And the first thing I did was I looked it up. I said, I wonder how many Serena had when she was 23 years old, and I think Serena was at like 7. So
Interesting.
but Osaka, unbelievable, another win. Doesn't look like she's going to slow down. I'd like to see a woman step up though and now be like a dominant figure. Because every time you throw on the LPR, the draws, and sorry, the WTA, the women's draws, it's pretty much like anyone could win. So I wouldn't mind seeing some dominance from somebody.
It's an interesting situation because I think Serena had a little bit more to deal with than Osaka does right now in terms of, really, grinding out type of players. Like Serena had to deal with her own sister, Davenport, the one the smaller lady from France, I believe, who could beat her every now and then, in majors. So I think Osaka has a little clearer path towards a whole bunch of wins. You got to love her comment there before the finals about, nobody really remembers second place. That's totally true. That's
Gotta
why,
love it.
being a professional athlete and goes into that mind frame of, man, when you fail, and if you're close to it, you're going to remember those are going to hurt a little bit more than the actual wins do sticking in the memory. The wins are great. You love them, but you got to get right back out and get hungry for the next one. So you let them go, and maybe someday you bring them back in. But the tough losses hurt. I'm sure that hurt. And you saw Serena walk off of that out of that interview, basically not being able to answer questions because she knows it hurts so much and she wants that last one to tie Margaret Court. And we'll see if it happens. I truly hope it does happen for her, but Osaka is going to be something that she has to deal with for quite a while.
Yeah, Osaka's and she's having great success. All right, let's go to the second topic. Second topic is the LPRT just announced that there will be another Super Slam. Randy Root, call it what it is. Randy Root makes this happen, and that's going to be June 18th through the 20th in Overland Park, Kansas, and it's going to be another monster event, Ellie.
Yeah, interesting date for me too, because the rumor out there with USA Racquetball is a potential event somewhere near that Kansas City location, not long after that date. So you're looking at a couple of big back-to-back tournaments for at least the US players on tour, not a lot of them, but and that timing's interesting right there. Obviously Randy Root's done a lot to help USA Racquetball here in the past, recent past. So here he is doing it again for LPRT. LPRT put an interesting statement out today, and Randy's one of
Well,
their biggest. Go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say we're going to save that, and we're going to
Okay.
see if we can get TJ on the show, another time and talk about that. But
Randy's
um,
one of their biggest supporters, and they had a great event not too long ago, and they're going to have
biggest,
another one. They're going to have another one here, a Grand Slam style event with good money and a lot of play going on. I'm not sure what's going to be different from the last time, but hopefully they have a couple little plans to make it slightly different, just to keep us totally engaged on that front. But we'll be taking a peek at it, looking at watching matches, and great for Randy Root to get his crew together to make this happen again, and great for the LPRT.
yeah. I mean, the guy gets it done. I actually spoke to him tonight, and the Kansas City crew that's watching outdoor, Randy is bringing me down there. I'm coming down. We're going to play some outdoor ball on a weekend, to be determined. We haven't decided if it's going to be that weekend, the weekend before, maybe a random weekend in May. But yeah, Ellie, to your point, the dates are interesting, right? Because there are some rumors. Holly Scott, that text you just sent me is actually inaccurate. I can help you out with that. But yeah, there's some rumors that the national singles and doubles will be combined, and it might be right around that time, huh?
juniors potentially involved as well in that whole scenario. And, Kansas City's one city in Missouri, obviously in Kansas as well. But then, you go across the top portion of Missouri right there. I know this because I lived there in Springfield, down south from there. And that drive from Kansas City to St. Louis, one of the initial cities of racquetball here in the United States, the initial city of racquetball, is right there. And that's the rumor. So looking forward to hearing some announcements pretty soon, eh?
Yeah, I mean USA Racquetball, they keep touching on a little bit, and I know they have a show next week. Maybe they'll announce something cool and big for everybody. But we'll see what happens. So LPRT Kansas, Overland Park, Kansas event, huge super slam. I think it's over 60,000 in prize money. It's women's only. It's women's singles. They'll also have doubles, and then of course they'll have an amateur open singles, I believe, and maybe an open doubles also. But it is women only. So great for LPRT. Randy Root, thank you again for all you do. You don't get enough recognition. He is the biggest supporter for LPRT, period. He does write the check. He's the guy that makes it happen, Ellie. He's got a great team, I'm sure, that does it. But at the end of the day, he's the guy putting the money in the account. And, it sucks. We talk about money all the time, but it is what it is. And to keep those events going, money needs to be there. And we can talk about how other people and other businesses and things can get involved to hopefully bring money to the sport. But right now, a guy like Randy Root, quite frankly, yeah, he saved USA Racquetball in 2020, and we appreciate that. So, all right, let's get to the next topic. Highland Ranch, Colorado, Denver. Let's go Denver, Colorado.
Sure.
Jim Heiser and his world singles and doubles IRT and LPRT event, May 20th to the 23rd. That's going to be a monster event. And I'm going to rattle off a few things that Heis texts to me, what to expect at that event. And check this out. It's like a mini US Open. So some of the special features are round robins for all amateurs, team competition for all countries, interactive players village, professional photo booth with John Faust and Ken Fife, special gambling app to bet on all players, VIP hospitality like the US Open for all players, online coverage by both IRT and LPRT. Ellie, this looks incredible, and I got news for you. I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, absolutely you are. I mean, you just won the last men's doubles pro stop with your partner Alex there. So of course you're trying to get there. I think your seed will be pretty high there unless they're crazy when it comes to seeding, like they usually are for you guys, and you guys end up right in the middle of the pack with a tough first round and a tough second round and so on. But congrats to Heiser for getting this initiated, and now he's coming down the home stretch here with several months in advance. It's really where all the hard work goes into getting the sponsor dollars, to getting everything set up to provide the value and recognition to the sponsors that are making this possible for the players. Obviously, the event is about the players and about the performances that we'll see, but doesn't happen without the money, and it doesn't happen without the direction and leadership. And obviously Heiser's seen so many tournaments. He's been involved in so many big events, from the US Opens to all the Houston Nationals, national doubles over the years, and everything prior to that, running the pro tour back in the day. And so, we look forward to a great event. I know you're going out there. I've had a little conversation with you about the possibility of being there. I've got a ton of family there. I don't see it happening personally for myself, but it's definitely something I'm considering now.
You gotta be the Ellie. If I go, you already know who I'm potentially playing mixed doubles with. So
I do know.
Right, but nobody else does.
Right now. Don't say it. Don't say it. All right.
No, don't say it. I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool. I think it'd be very cool. I mean, maybe we should say it and then say, okay, now I just need to raise the money to get there.
I think we hold on to that until it's official, and then we bring her, because we'll say her.
It is a her. It is
a mixed double, so we'll bring her on to make the announcement. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely we will have her on when I make it official. And don't get scared, partner. It's official. I'll tell you that. So this is just,
we know one thing. It's not Vero. We all want to see you and Vero play at some point. But it's not Vero yet. That is not quite the moment yet. But we, and hopefully she's hearing this right now. We all look forward, speaking for racquetball in general, we all look forward to watching her play singles, but also watching her play with her husband in some doubles. Normally, I would say to husbands and wives, do not play mixed doubles together. Something bad can go wrong. But this is one of those moments where it would be a beautiful sight to see you two playing doubles together. Two of the greatest backhands of all times, two of the greatest players. Vero is in that for you and I, we know how great her potential is. So, we call her one of the great female players of all time for sure, without maybe the stops to prove it and all that. But enough said on that. We look forward to seeing that someday, but it'll be an exciting announcement.
Yeah, I do. I wish she could have played in that event. And even Randy, when I was texting him earlier, he asked me if Veronica's coming to his event, and she's more than ready. She's in phenomenal shape, and it's just a matter of the finances, and obviously dealing with the kids, it's just a pain in the ass. And I love it, Ellie. We got people guessing already.
Yeah.
Keep the guesses. I want to see the guesses of who you think that I will be playing mixed doubles with in Colorado, which, by the way, you touched on Alex, the biggest event, Ellie. So you have the IRT singles, LPRT singles, and then the next biggest event is the pro mixed doubles. I don't know if there is a men's and women's regular doubles. I think the main event. Highs, I see you're watching. You can text me. I'd rather you put it right in the chat so everyone could see. But Ellie, I think it's just IRT singles, LPRT singles, and then the mixed pro doubles.
Interesting. Okay. Well, then that means you must consider the concept of playing a little singles in Denver once again.
Oh no, that's a whole
no.
There's not enough people online willing to donate to get me to go mentally be ready to want to go battle and play singles in that event. I shouldn't say that. It's doable. It's doable.
It is doable. Of course it is.
I'm going to say, though, that I love the guesses. So far, I saw Gabby. It's a good guess. Ooh, Janelle Tysinger. That's a good guess, too.
Let me ask you a question. So this is probably a question a lot of people are. Now, talk about the difference for you right now at this age, this stage of your life career, the difference between the exertion playing singles to doubles at the pro level.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Ellie, right now, not going to lie, physically, I'm in probably close to the best shape I've ever been in my life. My skills and my abilities are all there. But when I go out and play singles, I have to be motivated and driven to want to go do it. And my wiring right now isn't to want to go battle Kane and go battle, these guys and Alex, my partner. And it's just not there. And you know me very well personally. And if I'm not motivated and driven by something specifically, like I don't need to win singles. I don't need the accolade or the title or you to pat me on the back and go, hey, great job. You beat so-and-so because you're going to follow it up. Well, you should beat him anyway. But it's not Kane. That wasn't reference of Kane, of course, by the way. But like with Alex, I'm just super motivated. And I feel like I'm playing for other reasons when I'm playing doubles now. And I feel like it's more of I can't let him down. I remember in 2018 when I went to play national doubles with Rocky, the truth was, and I don't know if you remember this, the reason that I wanted to go do that was I didn't think that a lot of the guys at that time deserved to be on the U.S. team based on the way they were training or going about it or not going about it. And that was my motivation. It wasn't about winning another national title. So it's just for me, the physical exertion, sure, there's more that I would have to put out in singles. There's no doubt about that. But there's no doubt that I'm ready to do that. I feel great, but I just don't have the motivation to go do it.
So besides money, because obviously money motivates, besides that, what can provide that motivation and spark for you to want to play singles? And I'll say this, and a follow-up comment is that, for some people, myself included in my mind, sometimes I feel like doubles is more exertion involved than singles just because of how long and physical the rallies can be and how quick you have to swing when people are covering both sides of the court compared to the dance of a singles. So what else could motivate you to get to that position?
Ellie, that's a good question. I mean, there's no doubt. I would say that money would probably be the number one motivating factor. There was a time more than a few years ago, I had a very generous individual offer me a really good amount of money to train, full time to go play, but I had no desire. And believe me, I needed and could have used the money. And I said, I feel like I'm robbing from you because I need to wake up and want to go do it. And because I don't want you to look at me or somebody that hasn't on the singles court and go, oh, well, that's not really the guy that I thought he was. Or, so maybe that. Veronica's a little bit sometimes like, babe, you got to play. She did that to me in 2017 when I played the US Open. Thank you for my neighbor for shutting the alarm off so quick. she was the one that kept telling me, hey, babe, you're in good shape. You need to go play. You need to go play. And that's when I played the US Open singles 2017. But I'm really enjoying doubles. I like it a lot. Love playing with Alex. Love the competition. Um, could I go play singles? Of course I could. It's
Yeah.
do I want to, buddy? And I already told you, if I do, one of the motivating factors and demands I will have is that you will be coaching me, even if you're just hanging out with me when I come off the court and we talk about something else.
That's probably the type of coaching it would be, is having, telling you what to notice outside of the court that might be kind of interesting and topics for our show.
That's another show, buddy. People have no idea like how the mind wanders when you're inside, the fishbowl, the box, the glass court, and in between points, you might look out and say, "Wow, that sandwich looks good right there," or you're thinking about other things. You're not always locked in. You got to give the brain a little break. Otherwise, could hit a stumbling
On top
block.
of that, if you've worked and put the work in, then second nature's in effect in those moments as well. And it's comforting to be able to know that you're still in the moment and yet take in other people's moments out there outside. I mean, if you're the one who gets to play on the main court and be in that moment with the hundreds of eyes watching, you should feel like it's special. It is special for a moment. And
It is.
as long as you're prepared to perform, then you'll get the most out of it, and you'll be able to actually take glimpses of what other people are getting out of it. And I always thought that was really cool about being a professional athlete.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, speaking for both of us, my best experiences, memories, definitely come from being in that court, looking out at the fans, the cheering, whether they're cheering, rooting against us or for us, they're engaged, they're embraced. I mean, U.S. Open, I remember just, playing Cliff one time. There's so many stories, just getting ready to serve 0-0. You could hear a pin drop and somebody's cell phone starts ringing. And like, I was about to drive serve and I just stood up and I go, now's not the time, and like everybody just starts laughing because you could hear everything. I mean, yeah, that's truly, Ellie, that's another motivating factor. For me to go do singles, motivating people and players and the messages I get, that's a huge part of it. But I know that I'm accomplishing that doing doubles as well. And I don't know how much more I would do it if I did it in singles also, even though I know I could. But the players, you fans, and this is no bullshit, that's the truth. I'm motivated by you, by the messages I see, by the texts I get. I appreciate that. And I'm going to continue to do everything I can. Whether that gets me on a singles court anytime soon, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, to be quite honest.
How about this? When you do decide to do it, do something for me. Set up like you had your lesson set up going on Facebook and probably Instagram as well, where you have a wireless mic on and you're talking because it's clear and it's being filmed from your phone. I'm sure IRT will allow you to do that for this purpose. And maybe play an entire match where live people from your feed could actually watch it and hear what you're saying.
100%.
That would be totally the reason to motivate yourself to play that. It would be it'd be cool for doubles too, but singles.
I will do it. I promise. I promise I'll do that. In fact, Veronica's going to put together today or tomorrow a little highlight reel. Ellie's talking about, I just had a live video Zoom lesson with one of my clients, and she's going to put together a little kind of a highlight reel and show that how effective it really is. It was really cool. So, all right, let's get on to the next topic. Ellie, spoke to you, speak to you almost every day. And you told me, so this is your topic. This is a tough one, racquetball players and fans out there. Jose Diaz played in his first official pickleball tournament.
Well, not his first tournament, but his first official pickleball pro stop.
Pro stop, I'm sorry. And so tell us, what does that mean? Bro, Jose Diaz is a national name and figure in racquetball. Like, he's now playing professional pickleball. What's up?
Yeah, it means he's motivated a bit by De La Rosa and what he's doing in the sport. And, those two, if you know anything about them, they were competing a lot in juniors into obviously professional racquetball. And, Daniel's doing both right now and he's successful at it. But, the interesting thing is I've been in his ear about Daniel a little bit, like, is he playing singles? I hope you guys meet up just to see what's up with two racquetball players in an actual draw. But so he finally said, hey, Daniel's playing singles before he left on Thursday. And I said, yeah, well, maybe you'll see him in the pros. He goes, he's playing 4.5. And that's like, there's still 5.0 and then pros to go. And Diaz signed up for pros in his first event, which is hilarious. But I'll say this, he played the number 4 seed. There's about 32 people in the draw, somewhere in there. It's a double elimination bracket. He played the number 4 seed, the guy who eventually took 4th place, and he lost 11-8, 11-5 to the guy. And then he ended up winning around in what they call the opportunities bracket, the losers bracket. And he won around there 15-13. He was literally texting a text thread, a pickleball text thread from Stockton here during the match, which means he's not fully committed to being a professional pickleball player. He's there to kind of investigate what this is all about. It also falls in line with Jose Diaz. As we know, he's a little bit more about playing for the crowd than he is actually finishing the job and being 100% professional. But that's one reason why I love him, because he's so damn fun to
Win the
watch.
crowd. Win the crowd. It's
Yeah,
like Maximus Gladiator. Win the crowd, you win your freedom.
well, he does
All
that in
about that.
He does that in Northern California easily, almost every single tournament. But on a national, international level, it's a little tougher to do, obviously. But then he got into the second round of the opportunities bracket, and he's up 14-12, and he gets called for a foot fault, the only one of the match, and ends up losing the game 18-16. So he's out of the tournament after. But he's definitely texting us that they know what's up with him now. They realize he's got some game. He said that the two guys that played his first round opponent who beat him in 2 games there, the 2 guys who played him following him got hammered pretty good. So he feels like he gave that guy a little bit of a game that was a little surprising. So I think you'll see him dipping his toe into the old pickleball situation, and obviously over the line just a little too at the wrong time.
Sounds like Cliff Swain footfall. Yeah, but Ellie, that's what scares me a little bit. I think it's cool. Yeah, Chad, I agree. The opportunity bracket, that is pretty hilarious. And oh, by the way, let me throw this out there. Hey, I see questions going in the chat box. Contact Scotty Mac, send him a message. Scotty Mac, contact them. Let's get somebody live in here. We're trying to facilitate that. Ellie and I are trying to, we want to start bringing people into the show, but we haven't quite nailed it down yet how we're going to do it. So this is kind of a test. If you have Zoom, send a private message to either my athlete page or John Ellis or myself if we're personal friends. And Scotty Mac will bring you on live onto the show with a question you may have. So back to this.
Let me say hi to my friend John Provan, who's just moved to Texas not too long ago. From lived in different spots, but has lived in California for quite a while and totally a part of our shootout community here. And so I know he's probably been going through a little bit here in Texas, freezing over the past week. But he plays a lot of tournaments. He travels a lot of tournaments. Just want to say hi to him real quick.
John, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining. Make sure, hey, everybody, share the feed too. Get it out there, all right? We're talking about some cool things. We touched on the LPRT Kansas City event, touched on the Heiser Colorado World Games event. We spoke about Djokovic and Naomi. So, pickleball, Ellie, another great player, man. What do you think? First off, let me be clear. I am clear with Daniel. I said, Daniel, until you're the best pickleball player in the world, we're not speaking anymore. And, I know these guys have potential. I've played it. It's all right. I like to compete. I spoke to Kane about it. I asked him, I said, what do you think about it? And we kind of had the same reaction. We're just like, we just don't love it, and then his response was, but for the right amount of money, I'm sure we could learn to love it. And, do you really see racquetball players? Because it is a big kind of a tennis game. There's a lot of good tennis players and ex-pros that play it. Could we as racquetball players compete at that highest level, in pickleball?
It's an interesting sport because I think any racket sport can transition to this one, pickleball in particular, pretty well. It's derived from badminton, honestly, but tennis mechanics come in play, table tennis mechanics come in play. Racquetball, there's some moments in racquetball where you're trying to kind of dink that low front corner. Maybe it's not a low dink into the net here in pickleball, but the right feel and hands for the sport is there. Fast reactions, certainly racquetball players move their feet quickly. Fast reactions are a part of our game with the ball humming around like it does. So I think it's one of those special sports that a lot of different racket sport athletes can transition into pickleball and be good players. Now, when you have a sport that's getting as big as pickleball is becoming with a lot of great players, man, you're going to have tough matches every single time. You can't take anyone lightly because you never know what kind of skills. It's not overly, you're going to play good players. You're not going to have too many players just, be so dynamic that they're just unbelievable shot after shot like we see in racquetball. Watching you, for example, was like when you were on fire is like, hey, geez, this is stuff that it doesn't seem really human going on right now. Well, that's not quite the case in pickleball. It kind of looks, rally after rally looks pretty similar at the high level. The dudes and the gals have just sweet hands, and they have smooth movement, and all that transitions from one professional athlete to another. So I think Diaz will do well. I think you'll see him go for it. It's just a matter of money too. I mean, he's got to, he's a grown up, 27, about to turn 28 years old. He's got to make a living, even though he's living with his parents right now, and he's got a nice situation there and a loving family. We'll see how long he can kind of stay away from having to go different lifestyle to play pickleball.
Well, the great photographer Belinda Detman just commented and said, the ceiling game is the same as dinking in pickleball. Well, Belinda, you just answered my question and Kane's why we would suck. I didn't even know there was a ceiling in a racquetball court until just recently. And that was probably just because Alex told me, hey, there's a ceiling up there. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll play it. But, I wish those guys the best. But I also did see Diaz on the racquetball court with one Ronda Racic.
Yeah, I think I think the pickleball and getting into tournament atmosphere will bring him back into racquetball, especially if he can make a dent in pickleball to subsidize his difficulties of making the semifinals in racquetball or even the quarters at this stage. So, he's hungry. It makes him hungry too when he's got something going on like this and he's competitive. And a couple Saturdays ago, I took him down in some pickleball. Like, he doesn't like that. So he's got his own challenges here in Stockton with just that sport. Whereas in racquetball, without the Rojas brothers playing and Bobby Horn not living in Stockton, there's nobody who can mess with him on the racquetball court in Stockton. I mean, he pulverizes me in racquetball these days. But not pickleball, right? We're a little more competitive in that. And there's another guy, Rio Lazaro here. My buddy Rio took him down last week, gave him a donut in one of the games. And then the guy went and won a pro match. Diaz went and won a pro match. So naturally, my hometown buddy Rio here is like, I beat a pro. I'm a pro myself. Hey,
I have a question. This is the competitor in me coming out. Pickleball, I would say, as well or better than any racquetball player in the world right now, as far as knowing the sport and the abilities, and you obviously a future Hall of Famer as well. Your greatness. Give me right now, I want to know currently if racquetball players said, okay, I'm putting 100% of my time into pickleball. Give me your top three men and women that you think would be phenomenal in the crossover.
Well, I'll say at the top, number one, stay the same, and Paola and
Interesting.
Kane's hands are ridiculous. He'll be so
best
filthy.
I've ever seen. Best I've ever seen
He'll
in the
be
racquetball
so
court.
filthy at pickleball when he decides to play the right way, to play true pickleball. I think Paola's really compact, has nice hands, so I would put those two at the top. After that, you're hitting me on the spot with this, so it's kind of difficult to say. I know Bobby Horn can play already. I've played with him a little bit. He doesn't put any real effort into training for it, and he's good still. But I think with some focused effort on that, I think he'd be great. But De La Rosa naturally is on that list. And, I think Alvaro would be the next one there because of the hands, because you don't need to be as fast and just unbelievable with your speed at his age now. He doesn't, that's not going to be the same as when he was young, but that's perfect for him. Not only that, but I mean, at this rate, he's not too far from 50. So there's like this world of professional 50 plus as well. Right. I mean, that's something to look forward to. And it's an attractive part of the sport. Like, there's the 50 plus pros mean more to pickleball than they do racquetball right now. And
got it. Mm-hmm.
And maybe we see a little change. I know we had the Legends Tour for a little while and that kind of stuck a little, but you need maybe a little more substance there on that type of stuff. And
hey, I'm gonna go win a pro stop when I'm 50 plus, just letting you know, whether it's singles or doubles, I don't know. So give me your top three girls. You got Paola, and then who are the other?
Oh, geez.
Two more.
Probably Maria Jose, just because of her effort and her ability to scrap and quick reflexes. Rhonda makes a lot of sense. She's starting to fill that, demographic age-wise. I don't know. And, maybe Michelle De La Rosa, because she's been just so, she's in that world already, and she has her husband to work with. So I'd say, yeah, Paola, Michelle, and Maria Jose on the women's side, and the men's side, Kane, De La Rosa, and Diaz.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. The pickleball guys and girls, you make that call. All right. We got to get ready here, Ellie, because, we have our special guest or guests in the waiting room. Not going to
Right.
get into it yet. Where this is the last topic, then we're going to go to a commercial, and then we're going to bring in our
Mhm.
guests. All right, this one took. I saw a lot of interesting stuff on this one online. Some text going back and forth between a
Yeah.
few of us. All right, players not wearing eye guards.
Right.
This
Specifically.
specifically out, one wall. What are your thoughts on that? And then I'll tell you my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone should wear eye guards on the racquetball court at all times because I think it's just one accidental split second, and that eyeball dealing with a direct hit from a racquetball. I don't care if it's being tossed at you from up close. You'll feel that. It might not damage your life, but you'll feel that and it'll be painful. But a one coming at any miles per hour at it, with significance, you're in trouble if it hits directly on. Your life's changed. And so, on that note alone, I think it's not that difficult to wear eye guards. You just part of the game. Now, I understand there's some annoying little moments there where they get foggy, they get a little wet. You can deal with that. But one wall specifically, New York style, Florida style. If you're a true one wall player, you're not looking back. You're waiting for the ball to pass you, and then you're reacting to that ball. You're also not moving out of the way very much. You got to get space, take space. Of course, if you got to go weave in and out of people to get to the ball. I get it. That's fine. That rule is never going to change. That's not going to, that personality of the sport won't change. But when I see, and I'm,
Individuals.
Dylan Pruitt is the one that we were texting.
Why are you dropping names?
Because I like following him.
I wasn't going to drop names.
I think he's a fun guy. I don't care.
I like Dylan.
I like Dylan too. I think he's fun to watch. He's creative. He's got hands, he's got all the spin off of his serve. He loves the sport dearly. You can tell he's in good community of racquetball players there with everybody in the DC area and whatnot, in Maryland and all that. And so, but him, and not just him, but the other guys on the court there that watching from Zaranga there, Zaranga. I'm not sure how to say that, but they were looking back a lot. They were drop stepping, opening hip, opening shoulder, looking back.
Give us a little. So what Ellie's saying, so everybody knows, is let's say the front wall's here where I'm looking. What he was doing, because he's a racquetball player, is he's turning around like this. And that's exactly what you don't do in New York one wall. You just look straight ahead. But racquetball, right, we teach you, and I teach to track the ball. So we're always moving with. Here's a ball. So we're always moving with the ball to watch it. But in one wall, you stay forward, so the ball just comes this way at you. So, yeah, I mean, he's a big boy. I've been on the court with him. Alex and I actually just played him and Momo in Atlanta in the first round. Super competitive, good dude. I like him a lot. Dylan, just be smart. I'm not here to reprimand you. Of course, Ellie's right. We've been playing the sport a lot longer. We've seen people take rackets and balls to the eye. And, if it was up to Cliff, both of us, Ellie and I, would have had a couple more balls and rackets to the face. But, we were good at bobbing and weaving. We can get in and out of there. So just be careful. But like I told Ellie, I said, he's a big boy. He's going to do what he wants. And you're going to have to live with that. So be careful. Just be smart.
What you saw happen at for me about 5 a.m. when you start texting me sometimes, waking me up, is that just came to mind because I just peeked and watched it for a second, just kind of waking up, taking a little Facebook video because no clue why that happens, but just does, like, without even thinking about it for a second. Maybe it's because you're texting me, you kind of initiate something that I'm looking at, but and I was watching that video, so I'm not reaching out to him myself. I took, really honestly, like, I really don't care that much, but I hit up Freddie. Freddie's a legend in one wall, so Stray's partner for so long, the legend. And just made a recommendation, and Freddie followed through. And I think it's a topic, that we may see some restrung about. Maybe, it's a real topic out there. It's something that even handball players should be thinking about themselves, even though they don't hit it hard. It just takes one little accidental shot, and it's a life changer. And it's a life changer for others around you potentially if you can't see out of one eye.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much more to say about that other than you're exactly right. So let's just be smart and make the right call. All right. So with that, here's what we're gonna do, Ellie. We are going to bring in, not yet, Scotty Mack. I know you're teed up and ready, and our guests hopefully are watching or not watching. But Scotty Mack's going to give us a quick commercial. I don't know, Scotty, what is it, a minute? I like hearing your voice. Say something. Everybody can hear you when you say something.
Scotty.
So, Scotty, where are you? 60-second commercial, 30-second commercial, 30 seconds. He just texted. All right, so we're going to go take a quick 30-second commercial. Then Ellie and I are going to come back on the screen and we're going to introduce our guest or guests and bring them in. See you in 30 seconds.
Amy Beth.
Hi, John.
Here we are with the newest members of USA Racquetball Hall of Fame. We have, yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the club, ladies. First off,
Thank you.
We have Kelly Bean and we have Amy Ruiz. Congratulations. Ellie and I and Scotty Mack know we needed to recognize you. Welcome to the show. Kelly, Amy, you've been here. Kelly, how are you? Congrats.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Amy?
Glad to be back. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So ladies, obvious first question, talk about kind of how that moment that you found out that you were 2021 Hall of Famers here.
Kelly, go ahead. Go first.
Thanks, buddy. It was, I had an interview this summer with, oh gosh, I'm forgetting her name, sorry. But anyway, I had an interview and we went over everything and I just didn't think there's no way. What I did was just what so many people do. And I thought I was really flattered to even be considered. And then when I got the call Monday, it was Cindy Tilbury. When I got the call, I just couldn't quite believe it. I still don't believe it.
Well, believe it now, because now you're big time, Kelly. You're on the show, and I'm going to tell you that what you've done. No, not a lot of people do. I'm going to read it to you because I have it right here. So here's some of the things: 30 plus years of local teaching, programming, state association leadership, tournament directing, and pro stop fundraising in New Hampshire and the Northeast USA. 12 plus years of volunteering for USA Racquetball as assistant coach, head coach of USA junior team, including weeks of travel and training with the kids. 200, that's right, 200, which is more than all of us combined, Ellie, Amy, and myself, medals for junior team USA from 2000 to 2013 in international competition. 3-time US Olympic Committee Coach of the Year, 2000, 2002, 2012. Joe Sobek Contributor Award in 2001 and 2007 for Junior Team USA work. And of course, becoming good friends with Joe Sobek, I see. And then 30 plus years of playing, winning at the highest levels of skill and age group divisions in national competition, including at the US Open. Kelly, not everybody does that. You belong in the Hall of Fame.
I'm exhausted.
You should be. I mean, really, you're now like, that's the pinnacle, being in the Hall of Fame, and you go in as a contributor. It's pretty awesome. I mean, what are you going to do next?
Oh gosh, there's nothing. That is the top. That's the top for me. And just this week of hearing from everybody, including yourself, hearing from everyone and the thanks, and really nice to catch up with everyone. And racquetball gave me more than I could ever possibly give it. Lifelong friendships and working with all those great kids and getting to meet so many wonderful people traveling the world. I'm so fortunate, and this really is the the cherry on top.
Amy, how about you? We've talked about this a little bit, you and I. We've actually did some shit talking about this a little bit over the years, and obviously I kind of knew this would be the case where you were going in relatively soon. I mean, there's so many career titles that you have on the double scene, and then that one great title in Houston with the singles. Tell us a little bit about receiving the call, what that was like, and how you're feeling being a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, my good friend Jonathan Clay was the one who wrote the initial letter to the Hall of Fame committee, and your dad also wrote a letter, which was great. And Jonathan reached out to me on Monday and told me, and I'm very honored, and I think it's very cool, and I'm very honored and humbled to be going in with Kelly, who I admire and who has done amazing things for racquetball over the years. So, I couldn't think of a better person that I'd be going into the Hall of Fame with. So it's exciting.
Well, Amy, I'm going to now rattle off, you have 1 or 2 titles here. So I just want everybody to listen to this. We may need about 10 minutes to get through this. All right. 2005, you won the U.S. National Doubles with Laura Fenton. 2006, you won U.S. National Doubles with Laura Fenton. In 2007, you won with Jackie Perizzo. In 2008, Jackie Perizzo, champion. 2009, you won again. You also won the women's national singles in 2009. That one jumps out because everybody knows, you're a Legends an amazing doubles player, and you have all these titles you won in 2020, 2017, 2016, 14, 13, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. I mean, how about that singles title in Houston, and you beat your good friend Cheryl Godinez, I see.
Yeah, I mean, that was something I'll never forget. I went there, no expectations. I just went to play, and I think I beat the number 10th or 12th seed first round, and then I beat Kristen Bellos, who was the runner-up from last year in the quarters. Then I beat Rhonda in the semis, and then Cheryl in the finals. So just beating all these amazing women, to get there and win that, it was awesome. And then my friends were there, and they had my name on their shirt. So I went on the court for the finals. They stood up, and they each had a letter of my name. It was really amazing. It was cool. So.
Yeah, Sudsy, I was right a part of that, with the Echelon connection that we had at the time. Amy and I were communicating a lot, and so it was fun to see her go on that run and see all the reactions of her family and friends. So speaking of names, there, I see a new logo there on that nice hoodie that I want. I want that hoodie right there.
Oh, okay.
Sent to me, and then one for my daughter in a size like a medium now. But yeah, talk about that a little bit. You got a new logo going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working on a new branding by my friend at onewoolball.com. So it's kind of, we're doing a little bit of roller racquetball, and then also a limited edition, because I have a tattoo here with the words limited edition on it. Quick story, Janelle and I had lost our doubles title because of the unfortunate incident that happened to her. And, it was the Euro Pan Am Games, lost the doubles title, got stripped of the national team. And I quit playing racquetball for 4 or 5 months. And when I started playing again, limited edition kind of, I don't know, it came to me, and I got this tattoo, and kind of, it stuck with me. So you're going to be seeing limited edition roller racquetball out there. And yeah, maybe you'll get one. We'll see.
I want one too. We got to get one for Veronica. Kelly, I got to, I was a junior team USA player, and I think I was a pain in the ass, although Heiser says, because it was the first year they ever had it, he's like, that's when I actually matured and grew up and really became a leader in the sport, so to speak. I was 17, but you have all these years as a junior team USA coach. Anything jump out at you? Anything stick out at you, or any players? Any moments that really go with you to the Hall of Fame?
Well, unfortunately, I missed you. I came in at the end.
You're lucky.
I was told a lot of stories, probably none of which I'm going to share right now. So I came in after you had left, and I wish that hadn't been the case, because I bet that would have been a wonderful challenge I would have loved. And if you remember, you came here and played in Manchester when you were a kid in New York, and I had never seen you. Wow, you were incredible. And actually, you replayed match point. It was in Manchester at the big club I used to be at. And you had match point, and you replayed that. And you were a kid, and you did that, and it showed me a lot. It showed me. I remember we went out afterward. We went out to dinner, and it was. I could see what you were truly made up of. And I don't know how old you were at that time, but it was pretty impressive. So I'm sorry I missed your career as a junior, but my gosh, no, I don't have anything in particular. I mean, 99 as an assistant coach all the way through 2013. It's a lot. It's a lot of years. So every year there are so many great kids. And it's usually the ones that you've never heard of or you've never seen that really have the best stories.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kelly, Tato Rojas just texted me, and it's pretty funny.
wow.
So I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna read to you.
Tato.
He said, "By the way, I used to think Kelly was so mean as an 8-year-old junior on the screen team. Laugh out loud. She was serious with my cousins and brother at camps. Laugh out loud. Kind of wish I had her at least 1 year. It would have been fun." So it goes from his
nice.
vision of you as a young kid when he knew he was going to be following that lineage there of his family to, I know that would have been good for me, and I can attest to that. Your personality and coaching style would have been good for him, and that's cool to hear from players of the past. Do you stay in contact with a lot of the players that were juniors then that are now obviously adults in their 20s and maybe even early 30s? Do you stay in touch with some of them?
I do. I stay in touch with a lot of them, and I just can't believe they want to stay in touch with me. So it's so nice to hear from everybody. Brooke Crawford, 1999 is coming east. We're gonna all go to Toby Keith in September, hopefully, and she's an orthopedic surgeon now in Los Angeles. I mean, I'm so proud, and all of these kids and those ages now are. I don't know how this is happening, and I see them with their families, and they'll let me know I said something way back, and it stuck with them. And I don't remember saying that, but it's really nice. It is nice to have them all. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Suds?
Yeah, Amy, I got to ask you. I'm sorry, we got so many questions and we don't have much time, so it's fun. That's why I'm like laughing. Amy, are you going to Colorado for the big world singles and big pro mixed doubles?
I'm thinking about it. I know Erica wants to play, but there's no women's pro doubles. I have a few people I'd like to ask to play mixed. I don't know if they'd want to play with me, but there's a few people I have in mind. So
I'll think about it. I'm sure I'm number one on that list. So
let
me get back to you in a couple of weeks and work on my game for sexy. If it's working.
You keep working.
I'll get back to you. No, but seriously, who is on that list? Don't tease us like that and not try to get
seriously
on that. But seriously,
yeah, who is on that list?
Give us a
couple.
And
Kelly.
People.
Wait, Kelly can jump in. She's a coach, so she can name a couple of guys that she thinks would make a good team.
There's 2 people on that list. One being your partner, Alex. Yes, and the other would be.
Hey, buddy.
The other would be Javier Mar, because I think he's a phenomenal right side player.
I'm with you on that. I think he's top 10 in the world right now. It's right side player.
Yeah.
Easy, probably top 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this game.
Kelly, what do you think? Who would you tell Amy to play mixed doubles with?
Amy can play mixed doubles with whoever she wants. She's going to carry him anyway.
That's a good point. That's what the guys don't realize. I've been on the court with her. That's a good point.
It's incredibly true. I mean, I played against her and with her, and it's like she is so reliable over there that I'm not even worried about messing up that much, because I know she's going to go on runs of points with her service and her re-kill ability. She's going to go on runs of points that were just, there's a freedom to playing with her as long as that you're not too nervous because you're playing with Amy and, messing up because of that. So, good choices to choose from. We'll see if
Could we play backhands roller? I could play this.
Why not?
Listen, Kane and I 100% when we play together at some point, and we will be playing backhands. There's no doubt. So, all right, Kelly, you're in the Hall of Fame, and I also know that one of your favorite athletes is going to be in the Hall of Fame. So, are you now? If you don't know, Kelly's a big Patriots fan, and well, this is where the question's going. Tommy left. I no longer am a huge my buddy Joe Andruzzi played for them. He's got 3 rings with Tom, but I'm kind of now a Brady fan. So wherever he goes, are you now with the Bucks? Is it a Brady thing, Patriots thing? Where are we?
I have to support Tom. He gave it all those years. It wasn't his fault he left. I mean, he finally needed to be paid, right? He deserved to be paid, and he just showed what he's made out of. I'm all in with Tom. I didn't like him, honestly, when he was here when he was younger. And as an older athlete, watching him and watching him succeed, I'm all about it. And he's got Gronky with him. How do you not like that combination with
It's fun.
Tommy and Gronky? So yeah, I had to buy in a little bit, and the Pats with Bill, Grouchy Bill. I don't know what they have. So yeah, I'm kind of south right now. Yeah.
I like it.
How
Yeah.
much, ladies, Kelly, I'm curious, how much racquetball are you playing these days? And if it's not racquetball, what else are you doing activity wise, because it's hard to turn that off.
I played last winter, all winter, pretty much by myself at a gym where no one knew who I was. I just went out and hit and drilled almost every day, all winter. And then I played some of the guys, and it was great because they didn't know me. I had no expectations at all, and I loved it. And then I stopped in March when the weather got nice, and now I play pickleball maybe once a week. I'm not serious about it. I agree. I want to just rip it, and I don't do the little tappy thing. It's not my thing, but it's a little exercise.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's really not for me so much. And I'm a trainer, so I work out every day, work out people, have my Peloton, as does Amy, and do that. Yeah, right, great. So try to keep fit, and if I need to go back out there when the weather turns, I'll do it again.
So are you saying you're going to play some outdoor racquetball here coming up in the spring and summertime?
We're in New England.
Yep.
Yeah, it's maybe in June, July, August. We don't. I don't even know if there's any local courts. I think there's one in Boston. But yeah, I love it. I like it. I can work on my tan and play. So yeah, I like outdoor.
What about you, Amy? How much are you playing, and plans coming up for, let's say, the next 6 months here in racquetball wise?
Yeah, I mean, I actually played singles this morning. I played 5 games of singles. My opponent shall remain nameless, but I won 4 games. He won 1. Played some singles on Monday, and I played indoor one wall yesterday. So, I'm playing. We can't play doubles at the clubs. There's Zariga, and there's another indoor one wall place called A1. They allow doubles there, but the regular racquetball courts, they're not allowing doubles. So it's just singles only right now. So between that and, my Peloton and whatnot, I'm, doing my best to try and stay in shape and get ready, for, I'm assuming June is when this festival is going to be. So we'll see.
Yeah, talk about that. Do you have any insight on that, since you're so connected to USA Racquetball and all that? Can you tell us a little bit more details?
Yeah. Okay. Good one. I honestly don't. I don't know anything about it. I know nothing. No, I know nothing. Sorry, but I really don't. So
Neither do I.
here it's going to be junior nationals, junior nationals, singles, and doubles. I don't know which is first or when. So we'll see what happens.
Question, maybe you have a little insight on this one though. Would there be any overlapping for some of the divisions, because that that concept of having juniors around with adults also playing matches is interesting. I'm not sure it's 100% like that would be so cool, because you never know if there's some bad examples that could happen on the court with behavior and stuff. But for the most part, I think it's really a cool idea for having.
It's good. It's good for them to learn either way, if it's good or bad example.
Yeah, I think it would be cool for the juniors if they can, stick around for a few days. If they're not playing, the adult division, they can watch the team qualifying and watch, people like you, Sudsy, and Alex play, and watch the pros play and whatnot, and stick around for a few days if that's the case, if they can.
But no ideas on whether that's in the plans right there, just in the initial talking about it.
I'm not in that initial talk, so sorry, Sean.
Okay.
I know, Ellie. I know the IRF was talking about combining and overlapping an adult worlds or junior. I think it'd be great. Kelly, what do you think? I mean, I think it'd be great for the kids to see good and bad examples. Like, that's part of learning and growing up.
Yeah, we tossed that around a few years ago that would be a good situation to have. Logistically, it would have been tough back then, but I think it's good if they can make that happen. I think it's good all the way around. Then there's more people watching the kids and more people watching the adults if they can link that together. Right. Yeah. All
right. So, ladies, before I let you go, I've received the question. Amy, I know the answer to this, and so does Ellie and Kelly. So roller racquetball, right? Can you tell us what is roller racquetball? What is roller?
I mean, roller is my my maiden name, and you know, I'm going to be going back to my maiden name in the next couple of months. I've kind of been torn about sticking with my married name Ruiz or my maiden name Roller, and it's kind of like it's a racquetball name, you know what I mean? It's like how people are like, how can you not go back to Roller? It just fits you perfect. So I'm going to be going back to Roller, and
Ellie,
there it is.
I can't lie. Anytime I talk to Amy, whether it's in text or face to face, it's hard for me not to call her Roller.
You
No
just did
offense.
it before, Suds. You said it. You did.
Did I? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal. Like it's hard for me not to. So I mean, but we go back so many years. So you know, Kelly, Amy, Ellie, do you have anything else before we let them go here?
No, just congrats, ladies. You know, both well deserved, and it's a great accomplishment. And hopefully, there's a day soon where you know you're having this moment, this awards moment in front of players and people who you love and that who love watching you guys play and be a part of racquetball over the years. So congratulations on that and enjoy.
Great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ellie.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Kelly and Amy, you know, huge congrats. Enjoy it. You know, you deserve every second of it. It's a huge honor. You know, there'll be days and times where you get to think about it by yourself and have some emotional, you know, thoughts. I hope definitely was something that is special to me, and it's great to have you. And really, huge congrats, and looking forward to seeing both of you. And I can't wait to hear your acceptance speeches, or you know, that stuff's always fun. So thank you for joining us tonight. And again, Kelly, Amy,
Great.
thank you, congrats, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
Thanks,
guys.
Sudsy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ellie, you know, Amy, Roller wouldn't give in on what's going on, but there's a lot of rumors out there about some event. I keep hearing festival. You know, what's the story?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why you know, I've you know, we got to know each other pretty well, so you're obviously hearing a little feistiness in my voice with her, but she can handle it. She knows what's up, and I don't think she has that info right now. So you know, maybe we need to research this in the next coming weeks and have a representative on to discuss this potential St. Louis event that we're hearing about. Sounds interesting. Certainly a you know initial spot, initial city for racquetball in the history of racquetball. So there's so much history there that would be cool for people for that concept of the history of racquetball to be incorporated into that style of event would sure be feel good right now at this stage and coming out of COVID and being able to travel and actually have an event, which is looking better and better around the country right now. So hopefully that continues that pattern. I know it's looking better here in California, but you know, the ladies did great on the show here, and they're fun. I like seeing Roller's new logo there. I've been, you know, I call her Roller as well quite often, you know, when it's just one of the names I call her. And you know, it's a great name, right? It's a great racquetball name. So
It's good racquetball name. And Kelly, thank you so much. You know, she did text me. She said, you know, that's not really my thing, jumping on camera, but you know, since you asked me, I appreciate it. You know, Ellie, this was a fun call. We're you know, we couldn't get somebody live in the Zoom and figure it out, but we're still working on it. Scotty's working on it. You know, it's a lot of work back there. We touched on a few things. You know, again, big Colorado event. Jim Heiser doing the world singles, world doubles, and he did respond. He said that the mixed pro is the premier event, you know, along with the two singles. So it's not about men's and women's doubles. It's going to be about the mixed pro doubles. You know, of course, the Randy Root event in KC, Overland Park, LPRT only. Tremendous. Again, Randy, thank you so much. I personally look forward to coming down to Overland Park, playing with your crew and the outdoor crew. And again, Randy made that happen. You know, the guy, he's just doing so much. He loves the sport. And he told me he's not about the promos and stuff. He loves doing it. He likes helping out. And we appreciate that. So that's going to be great. You know, those two big events. Of course, Ellie, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
You know, I'm just, you know, on a personal note for me, I got a chance to play some racquetball for a couple hours yesterday at indoor here in Lodi. You know, for me, it's fun because we have Annie Roberts, you know, 18 and under,
Sure.
you know, top player here in the United States, going to University of Pacific, and my son's playing pretty good right now, and Controlla girls, and my daughter, and so I get a Nathan Rikus, who's a 12 and under national champ or contender for it if the event happens. So. It's fun. I'm a little sore today after a couple hours of racquetball, so I know I'm doing something different than pickleball.
Different. It's different.
Never sore. You know, just moving around with the walls and moving for the ball early and the explosiveness and that feels great, but I feel it the next day later. So, but just happy to have that opportunity still in these times where the courts still aren't quite open yet. Hey man, it's going to be 72 here tomorrow, 75 on Tuesday. I'm probably going to play a little outdoor the next day or two. So maybe I'll get a little video of that. And, on a personal note, just trying to stay connected to racquetball on a real basis with helping instruct our Fitness Forever program, and also trying to get some myself because I gave all those juniors a whooping yesterday.
Yeah, there's no doubt that you would give them all a whooping if you decided to actually keep playing and bring it. You'll be in the Hall of Fame as well. I'm pissed I don't have a Modelo. I just have some hot tea going on. But, again, to everybody out there, we thank you so much. This was episode number 31. Ellie, thank you as always. It's always a pleasure. Scotty Mack behind the scenes. What you do is just unbelievable, and you're going to have your own show at some point, and you are going to be being questioned by Ellie and I and maybe a bunch of others. Veronica, my love, thank you for all you do for the show, the graphics you see, the flyers that go out there, and of course, KWM, Gutterman, Keith Miner, everything that you do, you see, you're the only logo out there, and we appreciate that. I appreciate the support, and I know, you always do everything you can to help me get to these different events and hopefully announce my mixed pro partner soon, since that's the premier event. And most of all, thank you to all of you, all you racquetball players, indoor, outdoor, fans, supporters, promoters, sponsors, whoever you are, we appreciate you. We got to keep racquetball going. We have to keep it engaged. We got to keep it lively. Ellie's doing that. I'm doing it. We're all trying to do it. There's many of you out there. Congratulations again to Amy Ruiz, on your Hall of Fame induction. And Kelly Bean, congrats. You deserve it. Everyone, thank you again. We'll see you next Sunday, episode 32 of Beyond the Court. Have an amazing week. Keep checking out my Facebook page because there's going to be some cool stuff going up. I'm going to have a little bit of the clips that Ellie talked about, the live lesson that I did, and I was mic'd up, and you can kind of see how we can interact if you ever wanted to get some live action on. And Ellie, I'd be bringing you in if any of our listeners want to do some private clinics and lessons. So be ready for that. With that said, everybody have a great night. Thank you to the dogs. You guys shut up after we started. We appreciate that. They really were. They were well behaved after we talked about that. So have a great night, everybody. See you soon.